A spill of wine and a splash of paint. It's that time again. Time to pick up the brush and paint up what is happening in the Southwest Florida art scene. This is Behind the Brush. I'm your host, Rick Vansky, along with my great host, Caesar, and we love to do this for you, man. We like to dive into what's happening in the art scene, talk about what is going on, and most importantly, highlight some of the great artists that are bringing it to you on the canvas and dive behind it all. And Caesar, we had a lot of fun last time that I saw you down at the Bonita Performing Arts Center. We're going to talk about that because our great guest this week, you want to introduce?
Well, she's the curator at the place where we had the show. Her name is Danielle Branchaud. Phenomenal artist, very well known in town, but she also has this great eye for bringing art and artists together. We are glad to have her here today.
So excited to talk to her in just a little bit, but before we dive into that, I want to. There's a lot going on. I've never seen art so much showing up now on my Facebook feeds and actually in the news and in Florida Weekly than it does when it actually is hurting the arts. It doesn't make sense to me. How do you feel about this whole thing with Mr. Ron DeSantis and pulling the funds on a lot of the arts around town and throughout the state? Really, it wasn't just in our backyard. This is a big deal.
Well, it's affecting the whole state. And the thing is, I don't think they realize how much money the arts bring in taxes and revenue, because it brings more money than the sports and tourism combined. And just because some backwards mentality now is trying to cut the arts because it's too woke.
Yeah.
All these woke words that he's bringing now is affecting the arts.
The one thing that I don't think that even if we take it all the way back to what it actually does to the community, let's just take a place like Alliance for the Arts right down here on McGregor. It's been there for a very long time, or you can talk about the Sydney Byrne or any of these things. There's so much more to it for the community. I mean, you go all the way look at the flea markets that happen there. The people cultivate, kids that are going there for summer camp. The performing arts, even in that Fringe Fest that we saw, right? That how many people were at that you wouldn't even see? The wide variety of people that the arts affect. It isn't just one group all the time, the same group. You can't even put it all under one umbrella. It's this, it's that, it's the entire community. It's impacting everybody, whether you have kids, whether you are an artist, whether you are going to enjoy the arts in whatever form or fashion. And to pull that much money, can't they find that money somewhere else?
Well, it was not about pulling the money. It was about the cultural, of how the guy felt affected, because two of the French festivals were had a sexual overtone. So now that he's banning the certain books, now he felt that these French festivals are also in the same realm of censorship. So that's why he said, we're not supporting that. We're pulling the funds from that.
Yeah, it's too general, in my opinion. So how do we stand up against this? I saw Julie from behind the Buddha art studio. She's been very speaking out against it. Molly had posted a lot from the Alliance from the Arts. I saw Florida Weekly did a great story on it. But how can we actually tell people to is there a petition that can be signed? Is there things that can be shared? Is there funds that can be raised into a lot of our local community? I mean, number one, that's the great thing about why we're doing this show, is to create awareness.
Well, there's a petition that Molly Deadcard already put out for everybody to sign. I think it's a perfect time for artists to unite, and art lovers too, and show them how much our packets impact the state, not the other way around. Because we have to show that unity, and with that unity, what kind of power we have. I think it's the perfect time for that.
So finding that, can you just go, just a simple way to find it, is that available up on the Alliance for the Arts website, I'm going to assume?
Yeah, it's right on her page, and also if you go on Facebook and just type that, sign the petition for reinstate the art funds in Florida.
Don't make this something that you're gonna do maybe this weekend. Do it now. Do it now. The time is now.
Yeah, you have to do it now. It's impacting everybody. All these places are already going to have to cut a lot of programming that you enjoy
Yeah, you're talking about one location that I'm aware of, that I know of, in just conversation that I had, over $100,000. Do you know how many salaries that is? That's an entire summer camp of staff for kids, if you want to put it in that. You can put and paint the picture any way you want, but we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars per location.
Yeah, there goes the concerts you love to go, the markets that you enjoy to go. All that is gone.
Yeah, we got to make a stand on this. This show is not necessarily a political show. However, there's right and there's wrong. And this is just wrong, in my opinion. This show is about the arts and supporting the arts, and this is one way that if you listen to this or you find this because it got shared on social media from a friend of a friend, because we had a lot of listeners as of just our very first show last week with Nick Masello. A great show, by the way, down there, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. But please go to the Alliance for the Arts page, find this petition, sign this petition, share it on your Facebook, get the word out. We need to actually make awareness about what this is and how it's impacting our actual communities beyond just what they think they're putting a stop to.
Definitely.
Yeah. So enough of that. Great show. I loved it, man. Before we dive into the person that put it all together and curated it all, I liked what you did at this. We had an amazing show down there, a good time for the kickoff of it, and it goes until August 9th. It's the Cutting Edge at the Bonita Performing Arts Galleries, and our guest today, Danielle. How are you, Danielle?
Hi, guys. I'm doing good.
Great job.
Thank you so much. It was a privilege. It always is a privilege to work with artists and to be able to showcase local talent, especially for these fellas and lady in particular. It was 8 artists total, including Cesar, Brian Weaver, Nick Masiello, Marcus Zotter, Mully, Will Soto, Ariel, Katerina, and Sisigi.
It was fun just seeing everybody there in the same room for the opening night.
Yeah, no,
and what I loved about it, everybody took one of the posters and they were gathering autographs from each other on the poster. I mean, that was, I loved that. You know, everybody was talking about each other's art, and it was neat too because everybody brought a different group of their friends and family. So the collaboration to me was about making more of an awareness of other great artists in town that, you know, of course we want to get out and always support our friends, you know,
yeah.
But it's neat to go and see and meet people like, oh, wow, how do you know that person? Oh, that's great. It was fun. That was a fun evening.
Yeah, it's a testament to the kind of community that we have, and that's just a fraction of the number of artists and the talent that is here in Southwest Florida. And as I said, a privilege to be able to showcase them. I'm looking forward to showcasing even more. The next opening at the Visual Arts Center is on July 25th, and that's another group show of 5 Latina artists, and they're all local. And thrilled to be able to do it and work with them. But yeah, as I said, the community here is incredible, and it's absolutely worthy of attention, and especially in Southwest Florida, where I don't think that we get enough, and we need to work on that.
Yeah, and that goes until August 9th?
That's correct.
That's great. And you're a curator down there.
I am.
And any other things coming up down there that before we dive into your history and art, anything else you need to promote down there at Bonita?
As I mentioned, on July 25th, and that's actually in just a couple weeks, Floracion is the name of the group show that is, as I said, 5 Latina artists. That includes Monica Bokelman, Sonia Rosa, Cecilia Valadez, Winnie Purple, and Julia DeRocha.
Very nice show. That will be beautiful.
Yeah.
Excited about that. But you know what I love about seeing some of the things that you post, because we've just become Facebook friends recently, and I went back and looked at all the amazing collaborations that you personally do. You have done some amazing collaborations, even one that is at the Alliance for the Arts right now. Do you want to talk about and tell me about some of your collaborations, some of the people you like working with, and you know, do you enjoy collaborations, or is it always like trying to herd cats as far as...
Can be a little bit of both sometimes. No, I absolutely love collaborating with other artists, and I started getting into that years ago when I became good friends with Nick Masiello, who was your previous guest, and we started doing artwork together, and it became such an interesting experiment because anybody who's seen my artwork knows that I have a pretty traditional style. It's very realistic. It's surrealism, but it's realism at the same time. And I like working with artists who have a completely opposite style, the abstract graffiti style, something like that, because the combination of the two yields really extraordinary and unexpected results. And I like, being able to improvise around it and being challenged by it. So being able to work with him and other artists is always a unique kind of experience. And the piece that you're referring to is not at the Alliance of the Arts anymore, but it was. They have another show that's up, but you're talking about David Acevedo.
Yeah, that was the piece I had seen.
He just had a solo exhibition called Transcendental, and it was absolutely beautiful. And I didn't know he was actually putting it in there. I think it was an unspoken agreement. We kind of threw something together. We both have studios at the Union Artist Studios on the Alliance for the Arts campus, and we're right next door to each other. So I kind of put something together, handed it over to him. I say, here, play with this. And we passed it back and forth over the course of several weeks. And it just sort of became really interesting and unexpected work of art. That's usually how it goes. And, there's a certain level of trust that's required with doing that. And it's profound to have that. Trust is instrumental in any relationship or friendship or a working relationship with another artist, and to earn that trust and to have that is, I don't even have words for it. It's an incredible experience and so vital. So having that kind of experience with somebody, it means a lot to me, and it really helps you grow too.
Well, you're almost colliding two worlds and creating layers. And if those layers just aren't lining up, it almost becomes questionable if you're even wanting the piece anymore.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
There's a level of respect that's required there, too. When you collaborate with another artist and you're passing that off and getting it back, you want to respect the work that they're doing and that you're not covering it, you're just enhancing it.
Yeah.
And I know that for some people who've not really experienced that before, or getting into collaborative work and are kind of like nervous about it, they're afraid that somehow they're going to get overshadowed or covered up, or they're going to do something wrong. The idea is going in just completely open and embracing the unexpected.
Yeah.
And again, maintaining that trust and respect for one another. It doesn't work for everybody. I can say that for sure. Not every artist is meant for that sort of work, but I'm really very privileged to have had that experience and have had it be successsul.
I'm a huge fan of Rick Rubin, who's a producer of music albums, and he has to force artists together to make an album. You got the drummer, you got the guitar player, you got the singer, and of course they all have their egos. And to create an album in a very peaceful way that's a masterpiece at the end of it is very layered.
Yep.
And it's, you have to almost step your ego aside at times and allow just what is to be created to actually be what shows up.
Yep.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love it. So who are some of the people that you do enjoy working with, and you don't have to mention the names of the people you don't?
No, I'm not going to.
Right.
No, there's not too many people on my shit list.
Right.
No, I've already mentioned Nick Masiello, who I have to say, because he is a very close and dear friend of mine, and I'm sorry, you have to.
That's okay.
And he's the progenitor of a lot of the collaborations I've done, although in the past I had done some, but were not necessarily successful. I guess my experience with Nick made me have hope again. And of course with David, which was an absolute honor. I still can't believe he let me do that and put it in his show. So thank you, David. And more recently, over the past year, I've been doing works with Will Soto, and that'll lead me into the show that's coming up in August at the Alliance for the Arts, because he is also going to be having his first solo exhibition at Das Co-op opening the same night, right next door to us.
Oh, that'll be amazing.
And we're both featuring our collaborations in the exhibitions. We kind of went through it and decided that we were going to sort of hint
back and forth.
Yeah. So and encourage people to see both shows. But that's
cross promotion.
It's incredible again because his style is extremely different from mine. It's very edgy, it's very street style, spray paint, throwing paint, and I'm incorporating the realism into it. But
I liked his pieces at the Cutting Edge show.
Me too.
I mean, they're great.
No, he's very new to the scene and very humble, but I'm sure he'll very much appreciate that, or perhaps also hate that I'm talking about him right now. But so that's.
I think it's cute. Even on his Facebook, he has his daughter holding it because he is so humble. And, like, he's just like, you hold it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And have you worked with this gentleman before over here?
Oh yeah, no, I forget Cesar's standing right here. Did we? Yeah, we did collaborations before. I forgot for a second there.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you.
I've known Cesar for many years too, and we have done some pieces together. He and I have, I don't want to say like similar styles, but he also does realism. So it's usually when we did do work together, we found inventive ways to sort of split. Like we did the 3-dimensional pieces where you look at it from one direction, it looks like it's my image, and then if you like step a few feet to the right, you can see his image. It's hard to describe in words without actually seeing it, but those were fun to do. But more importantly, my experience with Cesar collaborating, of course, as curator at the Davis Art Center, he allowed me the opportunity to host the dark art events for about 5 years there. And that sort of, and maybe not an art collaboration, but still a working collaboration to be able to have the opportunity to glean that experience and to showcase local talent via that venue and with his assistance, of course.
I want to mention an exhibition. It was her idea that she put it together. It's called The Great Collab. It was back in 2021.
Great Collab Challenge.
The Great Collab Challenge. So the idea was the art show to be able to be in the exhibition, the piece has to be done by 2 or more artists. So the whole show was a big mix of collaboration. Excellent show. So now I'm happy to say we're gonna do that show was great show. So we're gonna do a second version of it coming in 2025. But the big difference is that you don't get to choose your partner. You're gonna get blindly assigned an artist.
Luck of the draw.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
Mm-hmm.
That should be interesting. Now you want to talk about like how that's going to go.
It's a gamble, but all those artists had to agree to it first. So they know what they're getting into. And I'm on that list as well. So
that could be like putting Mick Jagger with Eminem and being like, make an album. Good luck with that.
The results could be extraordinary, though. You don't know.
You don't know.
As long as the personalities mesh, because some people are easily frustrated or don't really. But, again, that leads to this ability to collaborate is so important, too. Having that open mind, allowing for improvisation, allowing things to just sort of become without forcing it to do a thing. Now, a lot of people are kind of control freaks. I'm one of them, technically, but I trained myself to let go and, freeing the possibilities. So I think that it'll be I think it's going to be a tremendous show. And I think that if we talk some of them through, if I have to mediate some of them, I will. I can be a marriage counselor if I have to.
So I think it's like also a great way to bring different circles, different cliques together, because some artists in this area have they
got their way, they got their friends, they got their niche.
Yeah, but with this show, you're gonna kind of be forced to.
Can I step back just a moment? That's amazing, but tell me a little bit more about the dark art, because I've been to it for years now. Where did that all come from?
Well, it started with the
because it's an amazing. Are you doing it again this year at the Sydney Burn?
Every single year, yes.
Yeah, I really think it's
longest
neat.
Traditions going on. Yeah,
it's such a cool. It's always right around Halloween. Yeah. Where did that all start from?
Started with the ZombieCon, right?
Yeah, Pushing Daisies, Janet DeMarco and Terry Tincher and a team of people put it together. And it originally started at Terry's Gallery, Space 39, which you now know as a bar. But once upon a time, forever ago, makes me feel really old thinking about it, it was just an art gallery and an extraordinary one. We loved that space. It's still a great space, but... once it was just featured art, and I remember it distinctly because I was fresh out of college. This would have been 2007, I think, was the first... No, 06 was the first year that they did it. It must have been.
That was the year I moved here. And
I missed the first year because I missed the deadline, but the second year I submitted artwork, and that was one of the first times I exhibited some of my new paintings downtown.
Very cool.
Dark art... Again, why I stayed involved with it for so many years is because it was one of the few opportunities for artists who do something who do work that's kind of on the fringe, that's dark or edgy, it was one of those few things that you could submit art to and not feel like you were being judged or kind of set aside.
It was encouraged.
Oh, highly encouraged.
Yeah.
It's dark art. And it was unheard of around here. I mean, look, we're in Florida,
Right.
Southwest Florida. Most galleries feature kind of tame
Can I
art.
get another painting of a flamingo,
Or
please?
a pelican or a beach scene. Now,
I get it.
all
yeah.
art is valid.
Right,
But
of course.
not all art is
Is
meant to be.
encouraged either.
Yeah, I mean, some art is not necessarily designed to match your living room couch. It's meant to make you feel something. And that's the kind of art that I have always done. So when I first started out here after college, I was kind of riding on a high thinking I was doing something extraordinary. And then I started looking around town and I go, oh, where can I put it? So when they started the dark art tradition in conjunction with ZombieCon, it was an incredible opportunity, and it grew immensely from there. And they changed different venues. It was usually at Space 39. It was at the Davis Arts Center. And then their 10th anniversary in 2016, they had a big one at the Sidney and Byrne Davis Arts Center, and they were going to retire it because of the situation that happened with ZombieCon, which was really unfortunate in the previous years.
Yeah.
We all know about that, what had happened. There was a shooting, and it shut everything down, and it was absolutely tragic, but, and not due to any fault of anybody except for the perpetrator. They had to ruin everybody's good time.
Yeah.
But when they said they were going to retire the art exhibition, I said, oh, no, you don't.
Right.
You can't take this away from us because it's so important, not just to me, but to every emerging artist that, as I said, does artwork that's on the fringe and doesn't really go with the status quo. So that's when we started hosting it at the Byrne. And it was an experiment. And yeah.
It's definitely one of our busiest shows. The most well-attended show too. So
yeah, it is. It's always neat. It's always over the top. I love it. Is that going to be? Is it in September? Or
it's always in October.
It is
no
in
matter
October.
What,
I always
in
felt like
October,
it was a lead up almost too, but it is October. Yeah. And your studio is at the Alliance for the Arts down here on McGregor?
It's in the Edwards building. That's a union artist studio. So it's on the Alliance for the Arts campus. But if you go past the main gallery, there's a 2-story building you can see called the Edwards building. That's where the Arts and Eats Cafe is. And it's also where DOS Co-op now is. So they call it the Art Triad now, which is kind of beautiful. There's so that especially on Saturdays when they do open studio, it's encouraged for individuals to come and tour. So you can tour the artist studios, DOS Gallery, which is open most of the week anyway. You can also pop in there. And, of course, they got the cafe, which I personally love and is probably a little dangerous for me because every time I go to the studio to work, I want to go downstairs and get a cookie and some coffee or something. But their food's really good. And I'd always recommend people to go because it's a nice little experience. And, of course, next door, the Alliance for the Arts, you can visit the gallery and their shop there, too.
Very cool. Can people stop into your studio, or is it more your private space?
Just on Saturdays is when it's open studio. I work in there not just on Saturdays, but it's locked up at the time. And I'm the sort of person that does like to work privately, especially since, again, if you're familiar with my work, I work a lot with the human body, figures, newts, and I'm very discreet when it comes to that sort of process. So generally speaking, on Saturdays, though, if you want to pop in, you can get a little glimpse at what I'm working on and it's just a little space. It's not like, it's not, I'm not going to say it's glamorous by any means, but all of us are really, let me rephrase. It's a nice little family there, and it's just wonderful to be a part of it, considering like the other artists that I get to work with out of there. They're all amazing people. We've got David Acevedo, Diana Ripple, Xavier Brignoni, I can never say his name, John Rizza, Julia DeRocha, Sonia Rosa, Dominic Tasher, Eric Schlake, Stacy Brown, Leslie Morrow, and Kate Swanstrom.
What a lineup.
Yeah, I know it's a lot, and we all basically live there. We love that space so much. It's, it's really important to us to have it and to be there together and to be able to work together. So, Yeah, I
love it.
I can't talk them up enough because I absolutely love them, and I'm really pleased to be a part of it. I got pretty lucky to get in there, honestly, because there's not much of a turnaround rate. Everybody enjoys being there, so not a lot of people are willing to give up their studios. So if you're looking for studio space and you want to get into the union, you might have to wait a little while, but that's
Very
okay.
good. Love it. Well, we really appreciate you taking time to be here with us on Behind the Brush. And one thing we probably should have started with, and now I guess will be our last point of topic. Where did you actually get your start?
I've been making art since I could hold a crayon in my hand. My mom's an artist.
Oh, wow.
So I grew up around it. Her name's Carrie Keller, but she was known around here with her business painting store. She did murals all over Southwest Florida. I don't know how much of it you can see anymore because it's been years, and naturally the nature of murals is that they're kind of temporary. If they start to fade, people paint over it. I think the one that sticks out the most in my mind, there's one in Cape Coral Parkway, right on the side of Off the Top Barbershop that's still there. But way back when, she was the one who painted up all of the things around the Imaginarium before it first opened.
Very cool.
She's done a lot of artwork in schools all over the area. So and I grew up helping her out and things too. So that's where I got my mural experience. Which I almost want to take a time to talk about Mural Fest. We were talking about collaborations too, because I had a team for that, and I was really glad to be a part of it there too.
Yeah, that's right. You had an amazing team. Yours was beautiful.
Yeah, there's another one with Will Soto and Heather Donaldson and Nick Masiello, and El Soto too. His daughter did a little help, did a little work on it too. Yeah, we're definitely wanting to see if we can't continue to participate in that too. Mural Fest is an excellent event, and I hope it can grow beyond what we just did, because that had wonderful results.
Yeah.
Well, I want to mention too, because Danielle's been preparing for a long time. There's going to be a big show, a solo show at the Great Atrium of the Davis Arts Center coming in February. It's a big exhibition. Can you tell us a little bit of why you're planning for that? I feel like I'm busier than I want to be these days. So I do have my next big solo exhibition at the Sidney and Byrne Davis Art Center next February, and the title of the show is Hypnopompia. And it's something I've been working on for a couple of years now. The last show I had there in 2021 opened on New Year's Day, and that was, what did I call that show? Visions of the Underworld. I had to think about it for a second. Was in immensity. I think I had over 100 works of art, and I even did a performance and everything. And I set the bar so high on myself that I'm determined to meet it again. So this next show, I'm probably going to be pulling out all the stops again, where I won't have 100 pieces of art. I can't do that much, but I'm definitely going to have entirely new artworks. I'm going to have a whole new series of work, and hopefully some sculpture, and do another performance. And I am really blessed that I was the recipient of one of the individual artist grants from the city of Fort Myers so that I can make that show happen. So I'm very grateful for that.
Congratulations. That's phenomenal.
It's a drop in the bucket for art supplies if anybody knows how expensive paint is these days.
Right.
But it's going to be extremely helpful when it comes time to make this happen, because, like I said, I really want to be able to set that bar high.
Take it to the next level.
So that's what I've been working on a lot of lately, although more immediately is the Piercing the Veil show at the Alliance for the Arts, and that's in August. Opens August 2nd. And I'm going to have a couple of those new pieces in there and a bunch of the older pieces, and it's kind of like my way of presenting the transition between the old series and the new. So it's an interesting little way of segueing into
up
this
to the
new
next
work.
chapter, or the next you. And is there a good way to follow all the things that you have going on? You have so much.
Instagram is where I'm most active as far as posting artwork that I'm working on, little teasers. I like to do what I call varnish porn. I know it's a little inappropriate, but
it's great.
Videos of varnishing new paintings is kind of my way of giving you a little teaser of what I'm working on, because I'm withholding a lot too. I don't want you to see everything. You're going to see it all in February.
And cats.
And
you get to see
I
a lot of
don't
cats.
post my cats so much on there anymore. I've actually kind of I've reeled that in. I'm trying to be more professional now. And I do share a little bit about what I'm doing in Bonita too, as far as the shows I'm curating and trying to promote those. But my Instagram, Branchaud Art, all one word. I'm sure we'll throw that up somewhere so you can read it.
So much happening.
Yeah. Oh, I overtask myself.
Anything else we need to talk about, or any other mentions? Caesar, you got anything over there?
I think Danielle is a big powerhouse here in Southwest Florida because she's always encouraging the local community to different aspects to collaborate. So I think that's worth mentioning.
Yeah.
She's very quiet. She doesn't brag about it.
But she's the glue that brings it all together.
Definitely is one of those big creatures that brings all together.
Yeah, it's needed. Yeah, it's very much needed because everybody gets in their lane. They want to do their thing. And that is, hats off to you for that, for pulling people together. Because I think it is important. Just seeing what happened down there and watching it, just from the outside, me watching everybody get each other's autograph on their poster, and walking and talking with each other as artists about their art and their pieces. That was just great to see. There was, of course, collaborations, but just the fact of bringing them all together in the same room, mixing the crowds of their friends, and everybody going out and seeing the one friends and all their lowriders and taking pictures in front of the lowriders.
That was so much fun.
I mean, it was just a great group of people all around. So hats off to you for always being the glue to bring it all together.
Oh, I'm just, I don't know. I think I kind of fell into it. I'm pretty sure I was referred to once as the art matron of the community. Like I'm the mother. I'm kind of just bringing all my children together to flock, which is fine. But it is just, like I said before, we have an incredible community of artists and you can't operate in a bubble. It's easy to get isolated when you're in your own world and you're working on your own art, but you have to have peers, and having that system of being able to work with friends or be able to connect with other artists and have peer reviews and have even just gatherings where they can come together and say, hey, this is what I'm working on. What do you think? Or do you want to work on something together? You have to be able to have that openness. So, the isolationist that does happen with some artists where they get a little bit reserved, they get in their own world, they end up just sort of trapped in it.
Yeah. So,
and I was guilty of that for a long time too, because I'm an incredibly shy person, in reality. I didn't get out very much, but I'm glad that I had developed friendships with people like Cesar, with Nick, Will, Ananda, a bunch of wonderful people that have brought me out of my shell and introduced me to the world of other types of art and create those opportunities. And to be able to foster it further is just, like I said, it's an absolute privilege. So I'm just doing what I can, honestly, just to be kind, because the world sucks. It really does. And you got to be able to do what you can with it. And art is a great way to make it beautiful and tolerable. And, the only other thing I really want to add is that, we were talking about the governor for a hot minute there in the beginning. Go and vote, please.
Yeah, please.
Vote your conscience and understand that, you can't just isolate yourself. You can't operate on a system that only allows a certain train of thought. You cannot operate in a world where you're only allowed a certain way of thinking. Art, every type of art, not just visual arts, is so vital to being able to open your mind to different ideas, different cultures, different realms of thought. And that's the only way you can grow as a society or as an individual person. You have to be able to allow yourself to learn and to feel things and to empathize. The culture that the governor is creating by cutting arts funding and banning books is a kind of culture where nobody has empathy anymore. Nobody understands anyone else anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be completely oblivious, and everybody's going to turn into a jerk. And I don't want to live in that world.
I agree with you.
We're already on our way, and I hate it.
Yeah.
So let's try to reverse that.
Absolutely. Go to the Alliance for the Arts website and click on the petition right there. That's one good way to start at it right there. And get out and vote, of course. Thank you so much, Danielle Branchaud, for joining us. It was an absolute pleasure having you. Keep up the amazing work that you're doing right here in the art community of Southwest Florida. Caesar, do we have any idea of who's coming in this great studio next?
Well, we have a couple great shows at the Art Center that I'm going to try to bring them here and tell us what is inspiration, what's behind all their creations.
I love it. This is what we love to do for you. We love to spread the word of what's happening on the campus of Southwest Florida. This is Behind the Brush. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.